looks good. It looks good. Those are the only things we can ask for. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. And for those of you that are returning, shout out to you for coming back. Today's video is going to be a review of the Boss brushes for my girl Joslyn. Now, I'm really excited to try these brushes and I'm really excited to show you how I completed this makeup look. It's not going to be a step-by-step tutorial, mainly because I really want to focus on reviewing the brushes themselves. So if you're ready to see how these brushes worked, keep on watching. So I was fortunate enough to receive the, give me one second, I believe it's called like the Basic Boss set, which includes 15 brushes. It has every brush that you need. So it does have a mini buffer, bronzer diffusing brush, a large round buffer, a large flat buffer, angled duo fiber contour, large blending or blush brush, eyeliner, angled eyebrow, small angled eyeliner, large angled eyeliner, mini tapered blending, eyeshadow lid, large crease blending, small crease blending, small tapered blending, and those are the brushes. The entire range itself ranges from $3.99 to about $11.99, which in my opinion is very affordable when it comes to brushes. And not only do I love the price, but I also feel like these are a very luxe set of brushes. The way that they look, the way that they feel, it's definitely giving luxe. Alright guys, so we're going to jump right into this review and we are going to get started. So I have my set of Boss brushes and I'm super excited about these. I was screaming when I saw that Joslyn was coming out with these. Joslyn is a makeup artist here in New York City, and well, she's based in New York City currently, but she is from Texas originally. And she's a really good makeup artist. Like, her makeup looks, it always looks like the application is so light, which is something that I really love when it comes to makeup, and it always looks like skin. So those are things that I'm like really excited to know, especially when it comes to her actual makeup brushes. So one thing I will note what I like about these brushes is that it's a very simple brush handle itself. It says Boss on it, dope, and a silver, I always forget what these are called. I'll probably like include like a little note so that you have a description, but it pretty much holds the bristles to the actual brush handle itself. All right, so one thing I do want to note is that I'm now looking at the brushes, and one thing I wish the actual set would have included is like a pointed brush or a stippling brush of some sort. I don't know what's happening right now, but I think I would have liked to see either one of those, partly because those are what I prefer to do like my concealer with, especially when I'm doing like my highlight, but also I do like to cover up some of my acne scarring and things like that, and I find that either using like a stippling brush or a pointed contour, I believe it's like a pointed contour, or a pointed concealer brush is what I feel helps me to really work the product into the skin for the first look or layer that I'm going for. So that's one thing I definitely want to note. All right, so next up I'm going to go in with my concealer, and I'm going to use Joslyn's Boss brush. This is a flat kabuki. These are my favorite kinds of brushes when it comes to applying did I say concealer? I meant foundation. So these are my favorite brushes when it comes to applying foundation because of this blunt top. But one thing I will note, these are super soft. Oh my god, super soft. That's something that you always want to look for when it comes to applying your products. The softer the brush, the better, because that's how you're going to get the best blending. I took 2 pumps, put it on top of the brush head itself, and now I'm just going to apply this on skin where I want product, and then I'm just going to buff that in. Alright, so this looks really good already, and this is just my base level, my foundation. Everything looks very nicely blended. And that's exactly why you want to use soft brushes or brushes with soft bristles. Alright, so next up I'm going to go in with a cream bronzer. This is from Fenty. Let's see what this angled, I'm guessing it's like an angled contour brush. So I'm going to pick up my product on here. And I always start around like my forehead. The bristles are so soft, you honestly have to be careful. Like, this feels amazing, and I feel like the softness of these bristles is giving the most natural of looks, which is perfectly fine. I don't mind. But for someone who I feel like may just be getting into makeup, these are so soft that I feel like you can easily overdo it. You have to be careful, but they feel so good on skin. So next up, we're going to begin setting our face. So Joslyn has this brush. I've never seen a brush like this, so I'm very excited to use this to set just like my face. So I'm going to tap it into my powder, dust off the excess, and then I'm just going to press this into the skin. All the places that we put concealer on, I just set. And I always like to touch it to make sure, and it's on there. It's good. It looks good. Those are the only things we can ask for. So, I am going to now go in with just a little bit of powder bronzer. I'm going to use this really fluffy brush. I wish I had the names of these brushes. I'm going to check online just to see. But this is a really fluffy brush. And I'm going to swirl that in my product, tap off the excess, and just set my bronzer. But one thing I will say is, because these brushes are so soft, please be careful with the amount of product that you are picking up to use them. I feel like because they're super soft, I feel like it's very easy to overdo. So always do less and build up if necessary. So before I set my face out, I'm going to do my blush. Now, this is not typically the brush I would prefer to use when it comes to doing blush. This is a brush I've definitely used before when it comes to doing foundation, but I feel like for the sake of this video, why not use it? I also feel like maybe the brush that I use to do my powder will probably be really good for this step as well. But so I'm just going to tap into that product, dust off the excess. And you definitely want to be careful. I don't know if it's because this palette, excuse me, is really pigmented, or because these bristles pick up a lot of product. But you definitely want to be careful. But I also feel like because the bristles are so soft, they blend everything out really well and kind of just like filter or buffer it just a little bit. So this looks really good. Now I'm quickly going to set my face and then we'll be back. All right, so now that we have set our face, I'm just going to do a little bit of shadow just for the sake of this video. And I haven't been doing a lot of shadow looks lately, partly because I've just been loving like liner and like things that are really easy to go. So I'm gonna take this fluffy, this fluffy buffing brush, and I'm gonna dip it into my bronzer. And I'm just going to apply this to my crease, just to give us a little depth and a little bit of color. Alright, there's something that I'm noticing that I haven't noticed yet, is shedding. Now, shedding is always something that you want to be mindful of when it comes to your bristles, probably because they can be a little annoying if they get in your eye. But that was only a couple of bristles, nothing major. I feel like the real test will come when I actually clean the brushes. But in terms of shedding, this is the first brush that I've experienced, and it really wasn't that bad. So something that you want to mention as well. So she does include a packing brush, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to see if I have something that has a little color up here. And I'm just going to pack a little bit of color onto my lid. Just a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little bit, and this is a nice packing brush. It picks up a lot of product. Once again, tap off the excess. I'm gonna grab my mirror. I'm just gonna pack this onto my lid. But yeah, that brush picks up, well, these brushes I will say pick up product really well. So now I'm going to do liner, lashes, and then we'll be back to finish up, as well as the final. Lastly, I'm gonna apply some highlighter, my favorite part, we all know that. So I'm going to use this highlighter from Bare Minerals, and looking at the brushes that we have left, this one in my opinion is perfect for highlighting. You can probably also use this brush for concealer as well, or like powder or things like that, but I'm going to use this brush particularly for highlighting. So I'm going to dip it into my highlighter. I'm going to tap off that excess, and then I'm going to apply to the highest points of my face. So that looks really good. And now I'm going to take one of these smaller brushes. There's a little pointed one, perfect. This little pointed one I'm going to use to do like the inner corners of my eye. I feel like this brush always fits perfectly in that spot. And let's say you really wanted to add more highlighter to like the bridge of your nose. This would also be perfect for that as well. So this is the final look. I will say I really love the Boss brushes because the bristles are super soft. I feel like that is the most important thing. Anytime you are looking at makeup brushes, you always want the bristles to be as soft as possible, and these, I feel like in that department, win. Like the bristles are probably some of the softest bristles I have ever felt when it comes to makeup brushes. So I definitely will be using these brushes again. One thing I will note, like I said, there are a few brushes that I would feel complete my makeup kit. However, if this is like your beginner set of brushes, or like if you are a makeup artist, I feel like this is a great brush starter kit, especially because Joss herself is a makeup artist, and I'm quite sure she has tried, tested, and used these makeup brushes for so many different things. However, the way I do my makeup, I feel like I have brushes particularly for specific things. So maybe that's something I need to work on in terms of like trying out the additional brushes as well, just to see if there's something else that I can use in place of something else. But like I said, there are a couple of brushes I definitely would love to see. I would love to see a spoolie. I would love to see like a pointed concealer brush as well, and like a more like rounded blush brush, or even like a bigger fluffier brush that I can use for bronzer. But other than that, soft bristles, I feel like this is also giving a very luxe experience. But like I said, I definitely will be playing with these more, will be experimenting more, and will definitely be trying these a lot more, moving out some of my old brushes and moving the Boss brushes in. So it's going to be a Boss from me. So that's pretty much it for this review. I really hope that you all enjoyed. I'll definitely link the brushes down below, as well as where you can copy your Boss brushes from. Shout out to Joss as well. And I'll see you guys in my next video.